Okay,
Now,
fantastic. Hi everyone. Hi guys. Can you put your cameras on so that we can see who is with us this evening? Wow, James, you have an amazing background. Some people are like wonderful, super.
yay, my
Hi
friends.
Shirley. Hello. Super.
So
Um,
glad to see you guys.
Yeah, very good. So my name is Annalore, and together with Neo Jaling, we welcome you. I love it when some people, hi, are putting the cameras on. Super. DQ, am I pronouncing your name properly? I cannot hear you. Can you put your mic on?
Let me change my name.
Yes, very good. How about we do that? Make sure that you have your name so that we can have a conversation. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna share with Jaring about our work, and also we're gonna have a conversation with you. So make sure you have your name so that we can call you. And if you can have your cameras on, if you're like presentable, that would be amazing. While we are at it, guys, could you type on the Zoom chat? You know, at the bottom, there is a line of feature. There is a Zoom chat. Could you type hello? Because I'm going to also ask you a question on the Zoom chat. So just to make a little tech test before we start. So could you type hello in the Zoom chat? Ohio. Yes, super. Suzuki, super. Price, super. Dawn, very good. James, Ajay. And if I don't pronounce your name properly, please tell me. Daniel, super. Very good. Okay.
Wow, I'm
How
so
about we
nervous.
start? Jane, you want to start?
Yeah, sure, let's go.
Super. I'm going to share my screen. Shirley LL. I hope I pronounced your name properly. Super. I'm going to share the screen now and explain a little bit what we're going to do today, yeah? I'm still admitting people. Super. Welcome, everybody.
Just in front of this
Together
car.
with Neil Jalin and myself, my name is Annalore. We welcome you for the next 45 minutes for this dialogue around, well, what has happened is like we were like fully surrounded by beautiful artists performing live, like teaching live. And with the pandemic, what has happened is like the world might have been shrinking a little bit. And in this shrinking world, what Creative Artwork and LH Studio have done is creating Thriving Singapore. And Thriving Singapore is a virtual exhibition and a series of creative workshops that we have organized in response, I would like to say, in this shrinking world. So basically, just to give you a little introduction, you can see on the website an actual 3D. If you have like goggles, you can even like visit the virtual space, like a real virtual exhibition. You can send it to your friends in Germany, Malaysia, wherever you want, because it's all virtual and all free. And then thanks to Jalin, who is I'm very happy to welcome, will be our first artist to start the creative workshop series. We have different format where the audience can be involved. Yeah. Um, I think I've met Jalin about 10 months ago. And the
Yeah,
first
earlier
time,
this year.
yeah, the
Earlier.
first time we connected was for really a fully in public, outdoor, amazing event. And
Yes, I honestly truly miss live performances, and that was the last one that I got to do before everything shut down.
and I think what I really like about Jalin work is she's really embracing the space and the connection with the audience. And so I was really curious to invite her to explore this online experience with me to see how an artist with so like connected to the space and the people can transfer that online. Yeah. Can I have, before I pass the mic to Jenny, because I'm gonna stop talking, can I have everybody type on the chat what do they want to take away from this time together? Is there any particular question you're interested or anything in particular you would like to take away, or you're just really open?
I think everyone's just excited to see the film.
Very good. So, Janine, I think I can pass you back the mic, and if you want to introduce a little bit your work and how
Yeah.
it will work, we were gonna discuss about neo-gelling work, a creative process, and then a bit more about what was the experience to bring this to success.
Yeah. I think someone's mic is not muted.
I think it's Margaret. Hi, Margaret. Thank you, Margaret. Super. So I'm gonna mute myself as well.
All right. Okay. So, and Laura, could you help me put up the slides that I had prepared? Yeah, thank you so much. So before we go further into like what we're going to be talking about today, I just want to share like slightly about myself, especially for people who have not actually met me before. But I am very happy to see that there are a lot of familiar faces in this Zoom call. So yeah, I'm Jia Ling, and I'm predominantly a dancer. I call myself an educator and hopefully a mentor, which some of my students are actually in this call as well. So that makes me really happy. And then I also do crafting as a side project and a passion project. So we can continue on to the next slide. So what drives me, right? What drives me is honestly um this need to create work that is genuine, work that allows me to explore who I am as a person. And sometimes I feel like in Singapore, there's not a lot of opportunity to create work that gives me that freedom to explore. So I feel like in my work, I tend to be very curious about the life of like everyday objects. I'm inspired by things that are just around me, like plants, like people, and I'm very into collaborative work. So when Enlor first approached to me back earlier in this year, I was so curious to see how could I bounce off all the other artists that were in that festival, and as a person as well, I am multidisciplinary beyond a dancer. I like to write, I like to do spoken word. So sometimes I do spoken word poetry as well. So what truly drives me in creating the kind of work that I create is that it has to have this very strong starting point from what I feel. And I the very basis of what I create has to be experience for people. And I hope that my film would be that way later on. So yeah, and then as a educator and a mentor, I'm very passionate about sharing information. Whether I believe profoundly in the power of giving people the agency to be creative and improvisational. And I truly believe that anyone can dance, and I really enjoy being involved and integral to their growth and self discovery. And I see that even in one open class sometimes. Like some people come in regardless of their age and they are uncomfortable with how they are moving with their body. And I just want to be able to create that safe space for them to feel willing to move or even just enjoy themselves or be with their friends. So maybe we can go on to the next slide. Yeah, so something else that I mentioned earlier was that I am a crafter as well. So how this came to be was that I first started out deciding that I need to fundraise for a project that I wanted to bring myself overseas, right? And it's really hard to get grants when you're an individual artist, like an independent artist rather. So I decided, I'm going to take things in my own hands. I love crafting. I love making things. I love doing handmade stuff and repurposing objects. So I decided to go above and beyond and just create this whole fundraiser based off stuff like sewing things, making earrings, making anything that was wearable from everyday objects. So as you can see in the picture there, I actually just took like really quirky items that I had, like what's that? Safety pins, string, and I just wrap it up or like of course I have to make sure that they're safe to wear also. So there was a lot of tinkering, a lot of trial and error. And like my most popular one that a lot of people bought was actually this like was that little stool. Yeah, that is a very common object that we see every day, and then I make it into an earring. So this common theme of like just taking things that come from my life and experience is something that I truly believe in. Yeah, and it transferred into my work as well, into my craft as well. So that's my shop. If this is a shameless plug. If you like anything that you see on the website, do support me, because that directly goes to me to fund myself to do my own independent, more dance projects, more stuff like this possibly. Yeah. So yeah, moving on. So as I mentioned earlier, the website, I mean, yeah, the website, my shop came about because I was trying to fundraise for a show, and some of you may already know because you've been following me, or you're my friends or family. I did this piece sometime last year in June, I believe, and I was invited to Italy, Siena, Italy, to create this piece, which they had no boundaries of or theme that specifically of what I they needed me to create, but they told me to create something that would come from your heart and to show what it means to move. And I felt that that question, that driving question, was so strong for me, because one of my inspirations growing up, or like, in my dance education, was Pina Bausch. Pina Bausch is a really famous German choreographer who pretty much invented the concept of dance theater. All right. So Pina Bausch has this very famous quote where she says, "I'm not so interested in how you move, but what makes you move." And from that point, I felt like it was really important for me to create work that also kept questioning myself. What is it that makes me move? And this work, Jiak Kantang, eating potatoes in a foreign land, this work really was me just challenging myself to figure out what my identity was as a Singaporean, as a Chinese Hokkien origin person. What did it mean? What did it mean to be a female body on a stage, putting myself out there? What did it mean to be vulnerable? And this piece was, I pretty much shaved my head on the stage by the end of the piece. Um, and I gave myself so much space to explore and challenge myself. And I think this is the running theme, as I speak of who I am as a person as well. I want to continue growing. I want to continue figuring out who I am as a person, and I translate that through my work. So yeah, I think that's enough about what I do, who I am, and I think a lot of you already know anyway. So for those who don't, thank you for listening to my spiel, and I hope you're excited to watch the film that I've prepared over the past few months. Yeah, and Laura, you anything you want to add?
Sorry, I'm on mute. No, thank you so much. I think the takeaway for me is like I knew you were experimental, and I think it's interesting for me to see how much you push yourself with this project. So thank you so much for being with us. So I'll
No,
let you
yeah,
take over to show
I'll
the.
share the screen. Yeah, so just before I share the screen, right? So in case the streaming doesn't really work, like it starts glitching up on anything, I would really love if you could help me. Just let me know in the chat, say that, hey, it's not working that well, and then what we'll do is that I'll send you a link, and then we'll spend the next 10 minutes just watching it on our own on YouTube. All right. So I'm just gonna give it a try first. Just be patient with me. I'm not very technologically savvy, but we will figure this out. Okay.
Super. Yeah, let us know how it is in the chat. Super.
Yep. Okay, give me a moment. Yeah, share screen, blah blah. Right. Everyone can see? I hope everyone can see. I am going to give it a go. Give it a spin. Sorry, it needs to be better looking.
Darling, I think we have some feedback in the chat about some panels
Ah,
working with you.
uh, okay, I don't seem to have the video panel on my side, which is strange.
You mean the
Telling,
gray
I
area?
think telling Skylar here. I think you need
Mm-hmm.
to optimize your screen sharing for video before you share your video.
Okay, give me a moment, yeah.
You see, this is a true collaborative tech workshop where everybody can chip in. Because this is also what we discuss at the end, because some of you guys might have like faced a similar situation and can share more. So who was
Yeah,
the
I
person
bet.
sharing? Katya, you were the person advising?
Skylar, I think. Okay. Do you see the thing still in the way?
We
No,
see a
it's
white
not.
screen.
Shall I try again?
Yeah.
All right. Are y'all blocking the screen still?
That we can see the entire screen, I believe. It's a very, yeah. And right, a very enlarged screen. I don't know. It is not like what you tested just 10 minutes before. Guys, we tried one last time. If not, we have the solution of sending you the link. We are super prepared.
Yeah. Hold on. So, what should I do now? I'm not sure. I think I.
Okay. When we try on the YouTube, it was working. The sound was working. The size was working. Let's try like that. Thank
I'm
you for
playing from
your
the.
guys.
Okay. Do you see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm playing from YouTube. Sharing my sound, and let's go.
Darling, I think we have feedback that this is lagging. May I have a proposal that we
Mhm.
send people the YouTube link and you tell us what is the time there, and then we can go on YouTube and watch the last 5 minutes together on our
Okay,
side.
sure.
Is everybody okay with that? Yeah? Okay,
Yep.
super. So
Okay.
in the chat, and you can tell us when we stop so that we can watch on our own.
All right. So I think if they don't mind, you could watch from the start. Otherwise, it's from we stopped at 2 minutes 44. I'll put the link in the chat.
Super.
Okay, so we'll come back in about 10 minutes, I guess.
Stay tuned and we just watch on our side. Thank you guys.
Yep.
Okay, everyone. It seems that you had the chance to watch Janine production. Janine, can you hear us?
Right. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I've never done anything like this before, so this whole experience is quite kind of nerve-wracking because the like yeah, I don't know if you're watching, I don't know if you yeah, and but yeah, maybe it would be while we continue, like some of you could share in the chat like what you've been feeling from the film if you finished it, and yeah, I think the first thing that as an artist is important to me is just what do you feel, you know, from the first moment you watched something. Yeah.
If you're a bit shy, perhaps I can propose an option like to share 2 or 3 words that come to you. For example, I'm just asking Ajay, you're my first person. Ajay, I'm like, would you be okay to on your mic and just tell us in 2 or 3 words, just words, what's your feeling? And then we can ask the other person. Will you be okay to do that?
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. Sure.
Thank you.
Maybe, right.
Just 2 or 3 words that came to you while watching, for example.
Ooh, I suddenly can't hear anyone. Huh. Okay. But I'm assuming that y'all can hear me, so I'm just gonna say the 2, 3 words. Yeah. Okay. I absolutely loved it. It it's unlike a dance video I've ever seen before. I'll say that much. But it's really, really cool because it's like I realized I forgot it was only 3 words. So 3 words. This okay, I'm gonna make it forward. This too is dance. Yeah. This too is dance. Yeah. So it's sort of like what is dance, and like you have this preconceived notion of what is dance, and then this too is dance. That's my takeaway. Yeah.
Beautiful. I think a lot of
Thank
people
you.
can connect. I can see a lot of fun happen. Anybody else would like to share? And then I'm gonna pass my mic to Jalin to bounce back on. Everybody else, anybody else would like to share in terms of Ajay or any words that came to you? I see. So again, I'm gonna be the. I see Daniel on my screen first. Daniel, would you be okay to? You don't have to. If you would like to share maybe 2 or 3 words, that would be good. You don't have to. You can shake your hands if you don't. If you don't want. Yes, super.
Um, I don't know a lot about dance, but I don't know how dance videos are supposed to look like.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna say um I don't know, it was unsettling, but in a good way.
Good. Unsettling is
Like in the
good
most
word.
honest, yeah, like it was like it stirred some stuff in me, but I don't know what it is yet. So
This is
I'm
good. I
sorry,
like that.
Charlie.
It's a
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Like
Very good.
like it
It's great.
impactful. Yeah, but impactful is it sounds a bit shallow to me. So I don't want to use impactful, but yeah,
No,
it's a
but
bit
but
my
yeah, thanks, Danny. Like how to say from the two responses that I've got, it really makes me very heartened because who says that you know you have to feel good watching a video. It could make you, you know, like good is subjective to me. So I think I don't know if you all managed to go and reread the text that I put right at the front, which was what like my heart felt like how to say, like what the intention was behind making this film wasn't so much to just show the beauty of Singapore, to just show the beauty of my dancing. Like that's the last thing that I have on my mind, but more of like I was very intent on reframing how we see everyday spaces. Yeah, and it wasn't so important to me whether uh like you left like how to say the film, you watch the film and then you feel like, wow, this is so inspiring. No, I don't need that, but I look, I rather I seek as an artist to elicit a response, and those were really beautiful responses, so thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, Jelly. Is there anybody else who would like to share something before I start asking a bit more questions to Jelly? Anybody else would like to share pretty much anything? Everything is welcome. I'd love to thank you, like Adelaide and Dan, for playing with us. Thank you for taking the risk with us. Jelly, can you tell us a bit more? Sorry, there is an echo, but perhaps what was the three things you were excited about when you started, and the three things that you were a bit afraid when you started this project?
So yeah, I'm three things that I was excited about. So back when I was talking to Anne-Laure, when she asked me to do this virtual exhibition, I had not I at that point in time, we didn't even know whether it was going to be like, you know, funded for and all that. So we did a lot of it was in the clouds, and I was just like, do I have the emotional capacity to do something or work on something that I don't even know if it's for sure, because, you know, COVID and everyone is going through this thing where we don't know whether our jobs are, if in a very infamous article, essential anymore, you know, as artists. So um and like a place of fear that like I feel like creating this work is a lot of processing that place of fear that I came from, and then that fear kind of became excitement the more I created, or rather explored the possibilities of putting into movement visuals, sounds, all these things, and this uncertainty, this how do I say, anxiety that we collectively feel as a people because of the pandemic. So yeah, I think it's so hard to say what are three things that are exciting, but everything was really exciting, but exciting but fear inducing as well, because this whole piece, the process of creating it had so much technical failure. Like, I mean, you know, in even in this Zoom call itself, I'm struggling with that. But in these moments of supposed failure, I've learned how to fail successfully as well, how to give myself room to just be okay, you know, like, all right, I'm not the best video editor, I'm not the best you know, conceptualist or something, you know, but I put myself out there and I created a thing that I am proud of. So I think, yeah, that's what I feel. Yeah. And yeah,
Thank you.
I'm
Uh,
glad. Yeah.
can we keep on talking about that? So I'm just gonna ask you to turn off your mic just while I'm asking the question, because
Yep.
there is an echo.
Yep.
Uh, I'd love everybody to hear a bit more about, you know, when Jalen said, "Oh, I don't know if you're watching the film. I don't know if you're still with me. I don't know the Zoom call. Are we connected?" And I think like what you just shared, Jalen, is something that a lot of artists who used to perform and being with people are actually living through right now. Even as students, you know, they cannot be with you. So can you tell us a bit more about this thing that have been difficult related to technology, and how you've managed to bounce back, and to what strategy did you put in place to feel like a dancer, a teacher, and a mentor, despite the fact that it's online? Could you share a bit more about your strategy?
Yeah, so like some strategies that I had, right? So how do I say, when we had to move everything online as a dancer, it's incredibly difficult to reach an audience or feel the person's energy. And I think anyone, I mean everyone who's on the Zoom call right now, you know, you would have been in Zoom calls of your own, whether it's a meeting, whether it's a performance or some kind of Zoom call, since, you know, because it's almost been a full year since the pandemic hit, almost. Yeah, and that's scary. But I think as a dancer, how I navigated first the loss of direct interaction with humans, like, you know, I can't actually feel your presence. You know, I can't actually hear whether your breath or your guest. And as a live performer or a dancer, that has always been so crucial to the experience. Like, I feed off the energy that the audience gives me. And sometimes or rather all the time on Zoom, that is lacking. You know, I can't actually reach out and ask like, hey, how you feeling, you know. And even if I do, then we need to like, I need to mute you, and then I need to unmute myself, mute this, mute that, and then a lot of this is lost in translation. A lot of the spontaneity of like, hey, I want to say something, hey, I want to make a sound, you know, that's lost. And then as a performer, it gets really exhausting to constantly attempt to be larger than life, you know. So I think how I mediated that is to, like, you know, come closer to the screen, really look into the camera, behave as if like, you know, I'm a more animated version of myself. Not that I'm being ingenuine, but I am psyching myself up to be more engaged with you as I speak. And whoever that you is, it could be a boring meeting, or it could be a performance on Zoom, which I've had the privilege to experience before, creating performances on Zoom, teaching classes on Zoom. So navigating this technological shift, right, has been really tough. But I think some things in place is definitely having the support system of my family, having the support system of you know, and Laura, the creatives at work, you know, creating exhibitions like this. These really give artists like me a chance to actually still create work in this landscape. And you know, whether or not it's essential work, I hope it resonates, you know. And that's essentially what it is, you know, how I navigated this. Yeah.
Jalin, everyone, I love Jalin to share a very cute story, because I know the story about when you're talking about support system. And today we are a bit intimate, you know, everybody's here despite the difficulty. Can you tell us a bit more about what happened in terms of support system at home? Because maybe that will resonate with other people who are dancer or artists.
Yeah, so the funny thing is that both my parents are in this chat. So yeah, they so when this whole pandemic thing happened, my dad took on this immense task of making sure that every Zoom meeting that I did would go well. And he tried also just now. He was trying to like text me from downstairs and ask like, "Hey, do you want me to come up and like fix this?" I was like, "It's all right. Like we've got it. We'll handle it." But long story short, right? Without the support of my dad, of like, you know, setting up tech system, like his sound system, the cameras, the microphones, you know, making testing the system almost every day. I would be like up here and I will hear him going, whoa, whoa, test, whoa, you know. And it was really fun, but also really stressful, because but at the same time, you know, it all works out because I would be teaching classes. And there was one thing that my dad said to me was that I do all this work so that you can just come here and be the artist. And that was really nice, like, to hear. And that kind of support is really integral to making, like, for people like me, for artists, for any kind of creative, to be able to go somewhere, you know. And you know, without family, without like that kind of teamwork, it's almost impossible to set up you know, essential set up a good show going. Yeah, like today also, without Anne-Laure and like Yenling in the background, you know, I wouldn't be able to get to this space, you know, and have this platform even. Yeah.
Thank you, Jalin. I think that was an important story to share, because we are entering in this, okay, let's do tech now and be artists and tech, but it's not necessarily our job. What I appreciate with you, Jalin, is you stepped up to learn a lot of things that you didn't know. And at the same time, it's important that to surround ourselves as artists and practitioners with the people that it could be actually the job to support us in this. Like the same way, I remember you mentioned when you go on stage, there is a sound person. So the same way, I think it's exciting for me, because I see there might be a lot of new jobs in this. Like, who do we need today so that we can like create beauty and meaning as artists? So that's really encouraging.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we were also discussing before, like, how it's really exciting that in this time, you know, we to adapt, we would have to create possibly more roles to you know, creating a productive Zoom session, because if we have, I mean, that's not an ideal format, where, it takes over live performances, because the viscerality of and the emotions felt in watching a live performance will never be able to be replicated on Zoom or any digital format. And I believe strongly in that. But if things would have to proceed in the way that we're going in the future, how can we adapt? How can we create teams? How can we have a support system to make sure that, what we are doing as an individual, the dreams that we have as an individuals don't just go on as like dreams, and it's tough to talk about this, because sometimes I feel like a lot of my ideas just disappear because no energy, no time, nobody to help me. Yeah, so yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
We are reaching the end of the session. I'd like to get, I have a question. So, Jaling, prepare a list of resources, just what you watch to learn, etc. online. Would you be interested to receive that? Because we have our emails. So we can also send it through email because you're registered on Eventbrite. So if you're interested, you can just type yes in the chat. If this is the case, and then we will send to you. Jenny, can you tell us as well, when can we see you again? And because I think you've prepared a workshop where we can actually also dance.
So yeah, on the 21st of November, just exactly 1 month after this, I'll be leading an improvisation class, and it's open level class, which means everyone in this chat can join, regardless of what age range you are. And it's you don't have to be afraid about whether you are dancing it right or not, because if you saw in my film, like, what my idea of dancing is very different from what possibly you might think dancing is. And it could just be like the dancing potato in the screen. We just go to, like, throughout, it doesn't matter. You could even dance like just with your hands. So yeah, exactly. Danny, you got it. Yeah, so everyone, just like, I hope if you have the time, please share with your friends. This is dance too. Yes, like Rebecca said, and like Ajay said, and yeah, if I don't think I have anything else to say
Very
at
good.
this point. But yeah.
This, guys, you will see in the. Sorry, Jenny, could you turn off your mic here, please? Thank you. So on the website of Thriving Singapore, you can actually find a Neo Jaling workshop. Same, you can register the link. This recording, you will be still also able to find it on the website. And just for your information, we have a session tomorrow with 3 visual artists from Singapore who actually have made it. So they are actually artists and they manage to earn a living. In Singapore, they're going to share what are the questions they receive the most and actually answer this question about how to be an artist in Singapore. And then we're going to have a virtual tour by one of the virtual artists called Arai, and a collective online meditation, Osho Inspire Meditation by Sharia on the 28th. So just check the website. Everything is free. And you're super welcome to join us for this session and Neo Jaling in a month. Yes? Super. Yes. Thank you. That's the slide I wanted. As Jaling said, share it with your family, because this is really about showcasing Singapore artists. And I think in this period, we can use all the help we can. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and before we say goodbye, also, I just want to say that we will be releasing the film also on the Creatives at Work YouTube. So that's where you can watch it again at your own time if you so wish. And please share it with whoever you might think enjoy such work. Yeah. So thank you.
Can I have everybody turn on your mic so that we appreciate your talent, please? Can you turn on your mic and we do it like well done. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Have a great evening.
And see you soon again.
Yeah, have a great evening, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.